Life is a journey that must be traveled no matter how long the road is. And sometimes it's the journey that teaches us a lot about the destination. Today we head south of Shillong to a village destination that is much sought after by adventure-seeking travelers. The winding road takes us through one of the beautiful landscape of the Khasi Hills. It passes a number of villages all the way to the border village of Aim, where we stopped for some time. Aim village overlooks the Umngot River and Bangladesh. It offers a bird's eye view of the land below. The bridge over the Umngot River connecting Dauki town can be seen clearly. It's an awesome sight. The images captured by the camera attached to the drone from high above show a different perspective of the river and the surrounding areas. Further down the road, as we moved closer to the Umngot River, we got off to walk down to the shore and take a boat ride. Wooden boats all in a row awaited the passengers on the river shore. I climbed onto one of the boats and happily took the smooth ride upstream on the crystal clear waters. There were locals fishing all along the stretch of the river. It was a way of life here, and many depended on fishing for their livelihood. The blue, serene waters had a calming effect, and all of my thoughts were immersed in this amazing boat ride. I enjoyed and savored every minute of this brief ride on the Umngot River. We crossed the bridge to Dauki and continued with our journey, embracing the uncertainty and enjoying the feeling of adventure awaiting us in our destination. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. We drive past Dauki and turn left, climbing uphill onto the Amlerem Jowai Road. We were now in West Jaintia Hills, better known as the War Jaintia area, a land rich in mineral resources and natural beauty. Further up the road, we take a left towards the recently discovered, most popular tourist destination, Shnongpdeng village. got down to take a walk to the shore, past the village that rested on the slope overlooking the river. Shnongpdeng village is blessed with a beautiful landscape. The transparent waters of the river Umngot flow alongside the village, which is surrounded by a lush green environment. Before tourism became an important source of livelihood, Shnongpdeng was basically a horticulture economy, with locals depending much on betel nut, betel leaf, broom grass cultivation to make a living. An interesting social feature of the village is that there is a dominant clan in the village, the Singkrem clan. Members of the clan make important decisions regarding the day-to-day affairs in the village. Shnongpdeng is also known for its traditional boat-making skill. Craftsmen from the village make boats on demand, catering to the surrounding riverine villages. We stop by one of the traditional boat makers. Shnongpdeng is a village which is known for its boat making culture, and this is the only village along the river Umngot which makes boats. So we'll talk to one of the boat makers, Mr. Wiwan Singkrem. Ba Wiwan, kani ka Ling pi sina kanosngi ya kani ka Ling.
Sina laisngi.
Laisngi. Te ya kani ka Ling pi don kanungut ba sina ya kani ka Ling.
Don
Arngut. Te pi supply bat sano kini ka Ling.
Supply jodo dauki musim darang.
Parok kani ka. Mo.
Duk na Shnongpdeng.
Te kum kani ka wi ka Ling ka songdor katno bade.
Song arpel.
Arpo ajar mo. The craftsmanship in boat making is a tradition and has been handed down for many generations. It takes about 3 days to complete a boat, which is basically handcrafted. Planks of wood are bound together by metal clips and held tightly with wooden clamps. The process is not an easy one, but depends on a lot of skill and experience. The wood is bent to the desired shape by heating and bending it on fire. Using simple iron tools, the boat is gradually constructed. I moved on to the riverfront where all the action was. The popular tourist site had a number of public amenities that catered to the growing number of visitors. Life jackets, kayaks were available at a price. Boat rides conducted by the locals take the visitors upstream and back. Accommodation consisted of homestays and tents on the river shore. Umngot River is the main attraction of Shnongpdeng village. Tourists visit the village all year round, but the maximum number of visitors is from the month of November when the water is crystal clear. Recently, Shnongpdeng has been affected by mass tourism, which has impacted on the carrying capacity of the village. If measures are not taken by the stakeholders, the negative impact of mass tourism might be disastrous for the village. Umngot River originates from the highlands of Khasi Hills in the Smith area about 20 kilometers from Shillong. It forms the border in many places between Khasi Hills and Jaintia Hills. As it flows further downstream, the river Umsong joins it, making the river much bigger before it drains into Dauki and Bangladesh. I cross over to the other side of the river via the footbridge suspended by iron cables from one end to the other. I'm standing here in a hanging bridge, a footbridge in Shnongpdeng village. And join me as I take you around the village and as we go boat riding and diving into the waters of this beautiful place. I walk across the shaky suspended iron bridge to the other side for some piece of adventure. The bridge was built by the Border Areas Development Department a few years back. It is one of the longest foot bridges, measuring 100 meters from end to end. Initially constructed to facilitate and make it easier for the villagers to carry their crops from the fields on the other side of the river, the bridge has become an added attraction for tourists. Shnongpdeng has emerged as one of the major tourist destinations here in Meghalaya, and we have with us an entrepreneur who started very small but now has got his own camping ground as well as a homestay. Meet Pindap Sinkrem, who is right here with us, and we're going to ask him a few questions. Pindap, naduk muno pisang ikan ikam, but keikba I'm in simi fi ban stang ikan ikam.
Loka reko ko choi mesim kedai kawan la jing sa kai pareng haying. Bisa tu para pada homestay pada yo kia sa barengi haying, pero beda pareng ko France. Entah kini ya elam kai siu keleng kini sa sini. Thì tao về thu khata ya pui khana kom ta kalong tegi sai dang ta ke tegi haring tu dari perak buat kai ra shlong ki kai pusaya nga ta ka plak nga bisa ski buat kai pa shlong ki fun bai nga ta ka salong ngap nga plak bisa nga so thau yang homestay ban hajar si khu sang sau ngadep aja khat wei
Teknik kam jngok kai perthai kala erap kumno lepi bagi ka shnong bro wei.
Ban swa kor bangatri bun na shnong kim pat yatip ya kane kritik kidang khoyom hia ga bangatri na kap kom na kom tai ka pendik kinang khwai na tai re man taw bara khoi na shnong banta kila ya no chada ka tu simple i ya ka jubun toi.
A visit to Shnongpdeng would not be complete without a swim and a boat ride. So I took out the pack raft at the water's edge, and after assembling it, I got into the river paddling the inflated raft. This was fun, although I need to practice some more on the paddling. Well, I'm on a boat ride in one of these traditional boats made here in Shnongpdeng, and we are streaming across upstream on the Umngat River. And you can see behind me the fishermen and the fishy women who are always on the boats and fishing throughout the day. And if you come to Shnongpdeng, a boat ride like this in the traditional boats is a must, because it's so beautiful here. And you can see deep down inside the water, you can see the fishes swimming by. 20 feet down below, the water is so clear. Sailing upstream on the traditional boat was more relaxing as we had a boatman on the oars. Everyone who visits the village go on a boat ride on the glass-like transparent water. The village council has made it compulsory for all visitors to wear life jackets, which I feel is a good thing to prevent untoward incidents. The tourism activities here are well organized and quite safe. It's a river that supports life around these parts. Women on boats fishing are a regular feature of Shnongpdeng. Their presence is indeed a welcome sight and adds a lot of charm to the already amazingly beautiful place. Playing and swimming in the water is another popular activity in the shallow waters. I take a dive to explore the aquatic life and find out what the river really looks like inside the surface. It was a wonderful feeling to swim alongside the fish, and I must say that I have never seen a more crystal clear river than this. Our journey does not end in Shnongpdeng, but we continue with a trek to a remote but beautiful place that is near Shnongpdeng. We set foot on Kudeng Thamai and were impressed by the cleanliness of the surroundings. This village was the gateway to our next destination. We trek to Kudeng Thamai village and move along the trail to the side of a root bridge located in a gorge deep down below and built across a mountain stream. The trail consists of a footpath which continues along an ancient path of randomly laid stones. We have reached the first crossing. This is Amksha River in Kudeng Rim, and follow me as we go towards the root bridge at Kudeng Rim. At the bridge over the Amksha River, I stopped for a while to get a sense of the natural beauty in this backwater of the Jaintia Hills. This is a trekking route which is still unknown to many, but I am sure that in a few years' time it will be much sought after. After crossing an iron bridge and taking an hour from Kudeng Thamai, we finally set foot on the root bridge. It was a bizarre looking structure with the roots tangled up, making the main deck of the bridge look similar to a corridor. The roots made up the side walls but were sparsely spread out with gaps in between. The root bridge offered a narrow path which we walked across. On closer inspection, we found out that there was an attempt to make this root bridge into a double-decker bridge. A network of bamboo lattice were placed overhead as a support for the ficus roots to form, in course of time, a deck on top of the existing root bridge. Bamboo poles erected from the sides of the bridge below gave the much needed support to the under-constructed bridge on top. We are on another one of those root bridges, and the villagers of Kudeng Rim are building another bridge on top. You can see the bamboo mesh, and it'll take about another 10 years for the bridge to be completed. If this is completed, say, in another 10 years' time, then it will be the second double-decker root bridge after the Nongriat Bridge in the Cherrapunji area. This was a pretty destination with a waterfall nearby and much more easy to trek than Nongriat, where the first double-decker bridge is located. After the completion of the upper deck, I am sure that this will be a major tourist destination in Meghalaya. My visit was coming to an end today at the root bridge of Kudeng Rim. It was a fascinating journey full of surprises all along the way. I will remember Shnongpdeng village and Kudeng Rim and every step of the trail. Someone said that so much of who we are is where we have been, and I totally agree with that someone. It's rather late for lunch, but after the long trek to the root bridge, this is like a king's meal. What we have here is fresh fish from the river, fried to perfection. We have vegetables here. We have the tomato chutney, cucumber, dal and rice. What more can you ask for? I'm hungry, I'm famished, I want to eat my food now. I'll see you in my next destination.